first game on our list here, we have Cincinnati. They're going to be on the road at Minnesota. Currently in this one, Minnesota -3. Total 41.5. I'm going to let you run on this one first, Uncle Dave. Bengals, Vikings. What do you think?
Yeah, I like the Vikings and I like the under. I mean, look, the Bengals win over Jacksonville was kind of improbable, with or without Jake Browning. It was much more a result of the Jags consistently shooting themselves in the foot with penalties and drop passes. Now, do not hear what I am not saying, because I did love Burrow to go well over his pass yards a week ago, but little did I know it'd be Browning that would expose them. But yeah, the Bengals are 2-0, but legitimately they could be 0-2. I mean, in week one, the Browns beat themselves against Cincinnati, and last week so did Jacksonville. And I just don't think the Vikings at home are going to make that mistake. I mean, Browning basically looked awful. He threw three egregious interceptions. I know McCarthy looked that bad last week, and I know Atlanta ran the ball down the Vikings' throat, but running the ball down anyone's throat, that's just not something the Bengals are capable of with that O-line. Having said that, and since I don't know that the Vikings with McCarthy are that good, I love this game to stay under. Although at this point, actually, I think Wentz is an upgrade, and so did the market. I mean, let's not forget how Minnesota had him on a furious comeback to beat the Bears in Week 1, and in that game, McCarthy only threw for $143. So this game, I think, is going to be like watching paint dry. I know they got Jefferson, I know they got Chase, but I don't think either coach wants to be putting their quarterbacks in their offense in difficult situations. So I do think they try to run as often as they can. So I think this one stays under. And, I give the Vikings a better chance with Wentz than I do with McCarthy. And I read a stat where McCarthy's QBR was 37.5 last week. And if he would have spiked the ball in every pass attempt, it would have been 39.6. So, I'm going to go with Wentz as an upgrade. Take the Vikings in the under, Sleepy.
All right, Uncle Dave. I think you're a little crazy with this one. Let me push back on you with this. So I'm on the Bengals here. This is like a battle of the backup quarterbacks, right? And I think that you have to favor Browning. He's got to be the better of the two backups here. Carson Wentz, yeah, he might be a little bit of an upgrade over McCarthy. I'm not on that island. I think it's actually a downgrade. He wasn't even on this team last year. Sam Darnold and J.J. McCarthy were. Now Darnold, he's gone, and McCarthy, he's down. So Wentz doesn't even know this team at all or this offense. He wasn't picked up until they made roster cuts on August the 14th. He didn't even see a preseason snap this year. Cincinnati, at least they know Browning. He's been the backup on this team for a number of years now. He actually has a good amount of starts, under his belt as a starter here for the Bengals. The Vikings, right now, if you look at the team, they have a bunch of injuries. Starting linebacker out, safeties out, left tackle is out, the center is questionable. The running back and Aaron Jones, he ended up leaving in the third quarter with a hamstring injury. And you have some other starters on the O-line that ended up going out last week with concussions. This is just not a healthy Vikings team right now. And you have a backup quarterback that doesn't know this team, that hasn't even taken a snap yet. I don't see how Carson Wentz is an upgrade over J.J. McCarthy. I honestly don't. I don't see that. The Bengals are going to win this game outright. I don't need the points. I got them on the money line. I got them earlier on in the week at +4.5. I'm going to view this like kind of like an NBA game, Uncle Dave, where the star goes out, the team rallies around, and they pick up an unexpected win. I think the Bengals with Browning are definitely better than the Vikings. And I know that both of these teams have, they've underwhelmed in the first 2 weeks. And you're right, Uncle Dave, the Bengals could be 0-2. I think the Vikings could be 0-2. And they could both be 2-0. I think this comes down to which team actually can look further on in the future and be a little bit more, comfortable with the guy that's under center right now. And I know McCarthy's only going to be out, maybe like 2 to 4 weeks, and it looks like Burrow is probably going to end up being out. I mean, he could end up being out like 12 games, but the Bengals have the schedule that a backup quarterback can get them wins. And it feels like the season could slip away, or the Bengals season could end up being, off to a really good start if they can go ahead and get a win here with Browning. And I just feel like it's a good game for team building and for them to go ahead and push, this guy that they know and that has been good in the past, to go and try to, push him in the direction where he doesn't feel like he's going to let the team down and the team just loses faith. So I'm on the Bengals. I'm on the opposite side here, Uncle Dave. I strongly disagree that Carson Wentz is an upgrade, at least right now, over JJ McCarthy. I don't see how. I just don't see that. August 14th is when you join the team. You didn't take a preseason snap. This team doesn't know you. Now he's going to go into a game here against the Bengals, and it could be bad. I would be with you with the under, but yeah, I'm taking the Bengals. I'm on the opposite side there, Uncle Dave. So little pushback from me on that one.